Hi friends, thank you for joining me today, and Reginald. Today I'm going to be doing a pretty quick intro to yoga class, so if you're new to the practice and you're just getting curious about it and don't really know where to start, this is great for you. We'll be doing some fairly basic stuff, just things to get the body moving, the blood flowing. And if you aren't new to yoga and it's just that you're short on time today, this practice is also good for you. So we aren't using any props today, but if you do have some and you'd like to use them, you are more than welcome to go ahead and set them up. And whenever you're ready, we are going to meet on our mat in child's pose. All right, so child's pose. We bring our big toes together and we take the knees about mat width apart. This allows enough space between the thighs for our belly to comfortably rest. And then from there, you can take the arms forward towards the top of the mat. If you have a Reginald in the way, you just put him to the side and then you come down. Rest your forehead in between the arms. And we'll take about 5 breaths right here just to settle into this space and settle into our breath. So as we inhale through the nose, think of breathing into the back of the heart, so the space that's in between the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, you can gently press into the hands so the hips go a little bit further back towards the heels. And if this pose doesn't feel good for you at all, you can always slide a cushion underneath your chest or head. And even sliding one in between your heels and your seat could be a little bit more supportive as well. And we'll take a full breath in here. And a slow breath out. We're all about staying connected to our breath as we move. So just strengthen that breath, which is the thread that connects the mind to the body. And then gently pull yourself up into a tabletop shape. So from there, you're going to slide your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And we will articulate the spine a bit here. So on the inhale, we'll drop the belly towards the earth and lift the chest, lift the chin, and tilt the pelvis forward. So your sitting bones are rolling up. And then as we exhale, we're going to draw the chin to the chest, pull the navel up towards the spine, and hook the tailbone towards the chin. That's the movement. Inhale, drop the belly. This is our cow spine, so you're arcing the back. And then on the exhale, think like an angry cat. So we're rounding chin to chest, tailbone to the chin, lift up behind the heart. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Into a neutral spine. Walk your hands about a handprint towards the top of the mat. Tuck the toes and then press the hips back, downward facing dog. From down dog, you can bend one knee at a time, walking out your dog, warming up the hamstrings, the muscles along the posterior chain of the body. And then find a bit of stillness. Make sure your feet are hip width apart, your hands are shoulder width apart. And you can go ahead and bend the knees here. This is going to help create a little bit more length in your lumbar spine, your low back. And then think of rolling your inner thighs to the back of the mat. Wrap your upper arms down. So again, you're creating a little bit more space between the shoulders. And you can let the shoulders rise up towards the ears here. Take a deep breath in down the length of your spine towards your hips. And a soft breath out. Amazing. We're going to come really high to the tippy toes and bend the knees quite a bit as we look forward. And then you can take as many steps as you need to come to the top of the mat. With your feet hip width apart, slide your hands up to your shins or your thighs and pick up your chest so your upper body is parallel to the floor. This is our Ardha Uttanasana, or halfway lift. And then our exhale will fold into Uttanasana, so our forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold into. Press the feet down and rise up. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. And then take your hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath into your heart. And then on the exhale, release the arms into Tadasana, mountain pose. Amazing. So as you press the feet into the earth, reach the crown of the head to the sky. Take an inhale. And soften the shoulders, unhinge the jaw. Relax the temples on the exhale. Again, inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Sweep the arms up by the ears, breath in. On our exhale, we're gonna sit the hips low into Utkatasana, chair pose. So you can keep your feet hip width apart here. If you do, just make sure that your knees are hip width apart as well. You also can take the feet side by side, just a tiny bit of space between the heels, and then from there you can kind of zip the legs up together. This is our chair pose. Take the arms up by the ears as much as you can, and then shift your weight into your heels so your toes are getting light. And as you breathe in, maybe you lift your chest a little bit more. And as you breathe out, maybe you just sit the hips just a tiny bit lower. Again, breathing in, inhale. Exhale, sit the hips a little bit lower. And then press your feet into the earth. Stand up tall, lengthen out the arms, the legs. You can bring the gaze up. And then as you exhale, take the hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. And then pull the navel in towards the spine as you fold over the legs. Take an inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step the left foot to the back of the mat and then lower the left knee down. Untuck the back toes, pull the hips forward and then down, and then walk your hands up towards your right thigh. So you want to keep your hips sinking forward towards the mat, and your right knee is over your heel. It's okay if it comes forward a little bit, but you want to try to get it no further behind the heel as much as possible. And then let's press our hands into our thigh and then lift the hips up slightly away from the mat. And then as we exhale, we can sink them forwards and down. So you can feel that really opening up that back quad, that back hip flexor. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, lower. Feel that stretch from quad to hip flexor. Inhale, lift. This time we're going to lower down and hold. Take the arms up by the ears, Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Let the shoulders rise up. Your hands could be together or palms shoulder width apart. Knit your rib cage in. Reach up out of the waist. You might wiggle a little bit as you reach the fingers to the sky. And then you can plant your hands to frame your front foot. From here, we're going to tuck our back toes, lift our back knee, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in your down dog. And you might want to sigh it out. Beautiful. Let's come high to the tippy toes, bend the knees and look forward. Take as many steps as you need to land to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Feet together or hip width apart. We're going to sit our hips low back into that chair pose. So we're familiar with this shape now. As you breathe in, we're going to lift the heart up. And as we breathe out, we're going to sit the hips low. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, sink the hips down, bring the weight into your heels. Last time, breathe in. And breathe out. Press through the feet, stand up tall. Maybe the gaze comes up and a little bit back. And then as we exhale, hands to heart center. Good, starting to feel the body warm up, the blood flowing. Press the feet down, inhale. Arms reach up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, this time right foot steps back. Right knee comes down. Untuck the back toes, settle the hips forwards and down. Take your hands up to your left thigh. So check in with that front knee. And when you're ready, let your inhale rise the hips, and then your exhale to draw them forwards and down. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Last one, inhale. And exhale, keep the hips lowering forwards and down to the mat, pressing all 5 toenails of that back foot into the back of the mat. Take the arms up by the ears, palms together, hands shoulder width apart. Knit the rib cage in, and then lift up out of the waist. Your shoulders can come up to the ears as you reach to the sky. Settle the hips a little bit lower. Beautiful. Take the hands to frame your front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift your right knee. Step back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale through the nose. Maybe you sigh it out through the mouth. Beautiful. We're going to bring our feet side by side. And then take the left leg up to the sky. Take your left knee to your nose. Look forward and then step your foot towards the top of the mat. If you need to do it in a couple steps and kind of scoot the foot forward, that's okay. And then take your right foot flat. So your left heel is either intersecting your back arch of your foot or the arch to your back foot, or it is lined up to that back heel. From there, we're going to lift up, so our shoulders will stack over the hips into our warrior two, or Virabhadrasana 2. Again, check in with the front knee. We want it to be over the second and third toe of that front foot. So avoiding it caving in so we're not putting pressure on the outer knee joint. Shoulders soften away from the ears. Make sure that they're over the hips, so maybe shift the upper body back just slightly. And then press down through the pinky toe edge of that back foot. Maybe you sit a little bit lower into the front knee. And then think about drawing the energy from your heels to the center of your mat. So it's really going to fire up the inner thighs here. Let's take another breath in as we settle into this pose. It's okay if you start to feel a little bit of shaking, if you need to come out of it a little bit, and then sink back down. And then we'll flip the left palm, right hand to your hip, and then straighten your left leg as you reach the left arm by your ear, reaching towards the back. You can breathe into your left rib cage, your left lung here. Great, one more breath here. And then back into our warrior two. From here, we're going to reach as far forward as we can with our left fingers. And then take the left elbow either to your thigh, or you can reach the fingers down to the mat or maybe a block on the inside of the leg. From there, you're going to take the right arm and sweep it over your right ear. Turn the palm of your right hand down. And root down again through the back edge of the knife edge of that back foot. You can use that left bicep to help guide your knee out here if you feel like it's caving in. Breathe into the right side. Stay with the breath out. All right, we're going to look down to the top of the mat. We're going to frame our front foot, right hand inside, left hand outside. Pick up your right heel and then step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Full breath in. Slow breath out. We're going to take the feet side by side. Right leg up to the sky. And then on the exhale, take your knee to the nose. Pick up the back body as you look forward. And then step your right foot in between your thumbs. From there, take your left foot down. Check in with the heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. And then sweep the arms up, stacking shoulders over hips. Right knee's not caving inwards. Shoulders are soft. And we're not doing these poses with our face. So we're soft in the forehead, around the temples. We're not clenching the jaw. And we're staying present in these postures. And the best way to stay present is to just stay with the breath. So follow every inhale. And maybe sink a little bit deeper into the posture with every exhale. Great. Take another breath in. Another breath out. Turn the palm of the right hand up, left hand to hip. Straighten your right leg. Reverse Trikonasana, reverse triangle. Lengthening through the right side. All right, we're going to rebend the right knee, work through our warrior two, and then reach forward. So you're hinging from the hips. And then the right arm comes down. You can use your thigh as that little shelf. Left arm comes up by your ear. So the pinky finger of your left hand is sort of cutting down towards the mat. And you're pressing down through the pinky toe edge of that back foot. Think of rotating your bottom rib cage. So on this side is our right rib cage underneath us. And we're rotating it a little bit quicker than the top one towards the left side of the mat. All right, take another inhale. Look down, place your left hand inside of your front foot, right hand outside, pick up your left heel, step back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and a slow breath out. Okay, we're gonna come really high to the tippy toes, bend the knees quite a bit, and look, step, or hop forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift when you land, our Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Press through the feet, sweep the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Hands to heart center. Awesome. All right, I'm going to turn to face you guys so we can see what's going on. We'll do a little bit of balancing here. So into Vrikshasana, tree pose. I want you to stack your bones. So when you stack your bones, so hip over knee joint, knee over ankle joint, it's going to be a lot easier to balance. So we'll start with our right foot grounded. Spread the toes as much as you can. Press down through the big toe mound and the pinky toe mound, as well as the inner and outer heel of the outer edge of the heels. From there, you can get a little bit of buoyancy in your right knee, so a tiny little micro bend in the knee. Your left knee comes out in front of you. Pin your outer right hip in so you know you're stacking the bones. Your hands can stay on your hips here as you stabilize. And it's also helpful to choose a point of focus, or what we call our drishti. So your gaze could be on the earth, the floor, just ahead of your mat. And this is going to help a lot with balance as well. When you're ready, take your left hand to your knee. And like you're opening up a door, you're just going to open the leg up to the side. From here, your hand can slide down your shin, and you can use the help of your hand to bring your foot inside of your right leg. If having your foot higher than the knee, your right knee, is too much for you, you can slide it down, bring it towards the calf, and you can even use your toe to the mat just inside of that foot for balance. And wherever you are with that left foot, just take your hands back to your hips and notice that that left hip probably hiked up a bit as you bent the knee. See if you can level it out with the right. And as you push your foot in towards your right leg, think of drawing your right leg back in towards the foot. Maybe your hands come to heart center. And maybe you forgot to breathe, so come back to that inhale. And slow exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. You can keep the hands where they are, or maybe arms come up by the ears. Take the left knee out in front of you, and then step it down underneath the hip. Release the arms. You can shake out that right leg. And we are going to go to the other side. So stack left hip over knee over ankle. You can start with the hands on the hips, a little buoyancy in that left knee, right knee out in front of you. Pin the outer left hip in, right hand to knee, and then open that door to the side. Take your hand to your ankle if you want some help driving your sole of your foot towards the inner thigh. Maybe it comes down, stretch, Reginald. And you can use your toe to the mat. It's different from one side to the other. I'm a lot more wobbly on my left side, so on this side. So it usually takes me a little minute longer to get my balance, my stability. So come back to the breath, level out the hips. Hands can come to heart center. We're still breathing. Press foot into leg, leg into foot. And then take the arms up by the ears as an option. Take your right knee out in front of you. Step the foot down, release the arms. All right, you can shake out that left leg. Good job. All right, we're going to take it down onto the mat now. So, sitting down with our feet on the floor, knees bent, we're going to take our hands behind our thighs and shift to the back of our sit bone. So the two bony parts of our bum, I want you to rock to the back of them. Slide the shoulders down away from the ears, and then puff up your chest so it's coming towards your chin. And you can stay with your feet grounded here. Pull the navel into the spine so we're engaging the core. Maybe the shins come parallel to the ground. If you are lifting your shins, you can zip up the legs. So press the feet together, bring the shins and the thighs together. Maybe the arms reach forward so you're in Navasana bow pose. And if you reached forward and you're like, nope, not today, you can always grab for the back of the legs again. Maybe the feet come down. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. Again, breathing in, lift up the heart. Smile on the exhale. One last inhale. And then on the exhale, we can plant our feet down, hug the arms around the shins, bring the chin to the chest. Breathe into the back body, push the back of the heart to the back of the mat. And then with our inhale, we'll lift the gaze, lift the chin. We're going to extend the right leg onto the mat. Stamp the left foot just outside of the right thigh. Make sure your front toes, your right toes here are flexed. Find those sit bones once again and root down. Take the arms up by the ears as you breathe in and lengthen through the spine. And then as we exhale, we're going to turn towards the left into a twist. So you can hug your arm around your left knee, and you can also hook your elbow just outside of the knee. Your left fingers are close enough behind the hips to help lengthen out through the spine. And we're inhaling to lengthen. And then with our exhale, we might twist a little bit deeper. There's Reginald there, maybe give him a little bit of love. Breathing in, soften the muscles in the face. Breathing out, smile. Another inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to unravel. You can counter twist the other side, so take both hands to your right hip and just maybe let the heart sink a little bit. And then turn to face forward. Take the left leg out in front of next to the right. And we're going to keep both legs long for a moment. Flex all 10 toes. And then again, root through the sit bones. Take the arms up by the ears. So think of pushing your sit bones as much as you're reaching the arms up. You're lengthening out through the sides of the body. And your shoulders can rise up to the ears. Knit the rib cage in so we're not flaring out. Nice straight line from hips to fingers and then hips to heels. Take a full breath in. And then on the exhale, maybe you start to fold. So think of hinging from your hips and reaching forward with your hands. You don't need to reach too far forward, that's okay. And you can even have a little bit of a bend in your knees if you're really tight in the hamstrings. Maybe your hands just settle to the earth on either side of the legs. Maybe you hold on to the outer edges of the calves. Maybe you walk your hands to your ankles or your feet. And as you breathe in, create space in the back body. And as you breathe out, maybe you fold a bit deeper. Breathe into the back of the heart. Breathe out, fold. And we accept and embrace distractions in our practice. For yoga teaches us how to kind of live with the distractions. With our next breath in, we can rise back up, take the arms up. And then we can land the hands on either side of the hips. We're going to keep the left leg long. Right knee is going to bend. Stamp the foot outside of the left thigh. From there, you can take the arms back up. And then on an exhale, twist towards the right. So notice if your right fingers are pretty far back behind you, that's when we kind of get a little bit lazy in the shoulders and the upper back. So walk the hand in. Use the arm as sort of a ruler to find length in the spine. And then use your exhale to maybe find a little bit more depth in your twist. Take another breath in. Grow tall through the crown of the head. Soft twist to the back of the mat on the exhale. Amazing. Let's unravel. Find a sweet counter twist to the other side. And then look forward. We'll bend both knees, feet to the floor. We'll make our way all the way down onto the back. So you can hold onto the back of the thighs. You can round as you lower. You can come back to that boat pose and move through Ardha Navasana, half boat, a little bit more challenging. And then slowly lower down. Lower your shoulders, your head. And then from there, bring your feet to the mat. We'll do one back bend here. So Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Bring the heels directly in front of the sit bones. Make sure all 10 toes are pointing forward. We'll start with our arms on either side of our body, with our fingertips reaching towards the heels and the palms of the hands down. Drive your heels into the mat, and then pick your hips up to the sky. You can hold onto the edges of your mat like you're trying to rip it in two. Or if you feel like you have the space in the front of the shoulders, you might rock one shoulder blade at a time underneath you and then interlace the fingers. You can imagine that the shoulder blades are sort of picking up your spine here. And if that's too much, just go back for the edges of the mat or palms down. And think of reaching the tailbone forward, knees forward. Take a deep breath into the belly. And as we exhale, slowly lower one vertebra at a time into the mat. Amazing. All right. We're going to pick up the hips just slightly here and then scoot them over towards the right side and let the knees fall over towards the left. Supine twist. Take the left shoulder, pick it up, and then slide it out from underneath you. Your left hand can come to the outer right knee or thigh if that's comfy. And then you can take the arm out like a T on the right side. If that's too much, you can have the arm just by the side body. So really your arms are wherever it's comfortable for you in the shoulders. And your gaze is wherever it's comfortable for you in the neck. So you can look straight up. You can make it a bit more passive by letting your cheek soften towards the left cheek soften towards the mat. Or if you want to invite this twist a little bit further up the spine and into the neck, into our cervical spine, you might look away from the bent knees. Breathe into your right lung, your right rib cage. And then breathe through the twist into the pelvis. Slowly start to unravel. Plant your feet down, recenter the hips. It might feel nice to take the feet wide and then sway the knees a bit side to side like windshield wipers just to reset the spine. And when you're ready, bring the knees back up, feet in front of the hips. Scoot the hips to the left and then the knees to the right. Our supine or reclined twist. And in these poses, we are aiming to create balance in the body. So we want to kind of focus more on recreating the sensations that we go from one side to the other, and not so much on what the pose looks like. So we might need to find a different variation or adjust slightly from one side to the other. And that's okay. Over time, we balance out, and it might never feel fully balanced. But we learn to breathe and accept without judgment. Slowly, when you're ready, unravel. Center the hips, reset the spine. Maybe sway the legs left to right. And maybe you draw the knees into the chest. Apanasana, a grounding pose, giving yourself a nice squeeze. Maybe your head and your shoulders lift. And then release and settle into your Shavasana. Shavasana can be translated as corpse pose. So, just as you would imagine, all you need to do is lie here. If it's more comfortable, you can bend the knees, maybe slide a cushion underneath them. And I encourage you to stay and enjoy your Shavasana. We are very rarely given the time and opportunity in the day to rest to find our way into stillness. So please, I encourage you to stay for as long as you can, allowing your body to absorb all of this work that you just did for it. And when you are ready to move off of your mat, do so mindfully, noticing how you feel now compared to the beginning of your practice. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you feel wonderful. I hope that this has opened up a whole new doorway of opportunity for you. I hope to see you on your mat and love to practice with you again. Namaste.